All right, guys, we are officially back in the building, and we got a treat for you guys today. We got a great guest, but first we're going to talk to our main host, Ronnie G. Stanley.
How you guys doing out there? You know, I'm doing well.
All right, guys, hey, seriously, we got a very great guest on Veterans Week.
Veterans Week.
Veterans Month, Veterans Week.
Veterans Week, huge.
Alejandro
Villanueva.
Introduce yourself. Tell us something great about you, sir, please.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Something interesting that you might not know about me.
Okay.
I'm probably the fastest swimmer in the NFL.
I can believe that.
What?
I wouldn't say I'm probably. I would make the claim that I am the fastest swimmer that has ever.
Whoa.
I'm the fastest
The
swimmer
GOAT.
that has ever played in the NFL.
All right. Okay. This is. I love how.
This started.
He's a podcast natural. Okay.
A podcast natural.
Tell me your background on swimming.
My background in swimming. So, I grew up in a coastal town, and I think swimming is one of the skills. My parents met swimming, so that's how they met. They were in the same swim team. So I think it's one of those things where if you know you're gonna.
It's in your blood.
No, but I think
genetics.
I think Europeans are a little more pragmatic about sports. You know, they don't. American parents would look at their kids and say, "I'm going to turn him into a basketball star or a football star." European parents are more of, you know, what's going to be something that's going to be healthy and sustainable for his life. And so swimming, especially if you're going to have a tall kid, swimming is very special because it really strengthens the back, you know, and it helps you grow straight, you know. And so, you know, that's how I started. Obviously, it became very competitive, and then, you know, at some point I had to stop.
So at one point, did you stop caring about your body and play football?
You know what's great? I was actually telling this to the O-lineman today. I stopped swimming the moment I asked my dad how much a swimmer makes for winning a gold medal.
Wow. Not much, huh?
Not much.
Not much. What am I doing here?
Yeah, shoot.
In the swim pool 9 hours a day.
Wait,
get me out of here.
Wait, you were born? Where were you born?
I was born in Meridian, Mississippi, but then immediately after that, I moved to Europe. And I grew up in Europe, and then I came back. When I was
Mississippi.
Right.
What a place. Actually, I've never been there.
You know what's funny? It's right next to Tuscaloosa.
I feel like, I do know this when the Louisiana guys I played with at Bama, when they would leave to go to Louisiana, that I would drive past Meridian.
Right.
So anyway, all right. Why do you think you just think you're just great at swimming? Like,
So you know, okay, for example, this is a great comparison. You know how you view yourself as a corner?
yes.
Most people will look at you as a corner and say, like, God, you just look good in uniform. There's a lot of athletes that
I look great. I look great.
Right? No, but for example, we're like Tyron Smith as a tackle.
Oh, he looks beautiful.
You look at me, you're like, bro, that's a football player right there. You were the corner version of that. And so you play like that. You just like, look, I'm just physically gifted.
Built different.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I felt the same way when I was a swimmer. When I showed up to a swimming pool, I looked like...
People were trembling.
People were like, swimmers look like E.T. And I was the E.T.-est looking swimmer.
So they were saying you was like a European Michael Phelps. You're the European Michael Phelps.
Bro, I would have smashed Michael Phelps.
Do you ever have dreams?
Michael Phelps?
Do you have dreams of like what you could have been as a swimmer? Like, you know what I mean? Do you ever think about, man, I could have?
No, I think as a swimmer, it's all about time. You know, maybe like
swimming time.
Right, like I didn't care about other swimmers. I care about a time.
So you want to beat the time, right?
I want to be the.
You wanted to be the greatest.
I want to be the greatest swimmer.
Why the crap did you start playing ball?
Do you have dreams?
What do you think?
Michael Phelps probably got some good dough.
Yeah, but he's one of the very few.
We're talking to a.
That's true. If you knew, he's at the point. If you knew you were going to be the GOAT.
No. So for example, this is funny. So when I ask you who'd you look up to as an athlete, most people will say, "Oh yeah, I grew up a quarterback or a running back or a stud or Reggie White." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I grew up I never idolizing anybody, just envying the man who had the world record for 50-meter freestyle, who was a Russian in 100 meters. He was a Russian.
Mm-hmm. Does he still have it? No,
Bro, this is
definitely not.
crazy.
Phelps has
he
it
doesn't
now,
have-
right?
No. I don't know if he has the
Phelps
the
has
50
it
meter
for
one.
sure.
50 meters is like the sprint.
Yeah.
But then you realize that it's 100 because 50 is too short in the swimming world.
Right.
So I wanted to say, like, okay, what are the times? I had at our school they had a Guinness World Record book on the shelves, and I remember opening all the time, going to the sports section, going to the swimming section, and saying, okay, who's got the world record? And then I was like, I'm gonna beat it. But then again, obviously everything that I'm saying right now is extremely exaggerated. Right? 'Cause I feel like I'm in this this dungeon, chatting with my teammates. So I feel like I'm in
Your
a
bros.
Right.
All right. Okay. One more question. Dang, I low-key just forgot. Actually. Yeah, that's it. When did you stop swimming?
I stopped. I just told you as soon as I found out.
Yeah, I know. When? Like what age?
Oh, okay. What question? Actually, I think I was maybe 12, 13.
And so for the viewers that don't, people might not know you. How tall are you right now?
6'10".
And how much do you weigh?
Bro, I said 6'10" with a straight face.
I know. I'm just saying. You just did.
6'10".
How much do you weigh?
325.
All right. So when you were 12, how tall were you?
I stopped growing when I was 14, 13.
Shut the hell up! You were 6'10" at 14.
I was when I was 14 years old, at 15 years old, I was this tall.
Wow,
Bro.
No wonder you showed up to the pool thing and you were different. You were
freaking
different.
10 inches taller than everybody.
Yes.
You were like, who are these kids, bro?
What I was trying to say earlier, Marlon, is that I know that I'm saying this, that I
You're
would
a
have been on
dog.
the record. I mean, I was 12 years old. I'm saying this because I'm in a podcast. But
I believe you.
But what I'm saying is that I died.
You were confident in your skill.
I believe you,
Yes.
brother.
And you think you could have progressed.
Yes. But I'm saying that right now because it's kind of like when I was in the Army, I was an Army football player. I went to West Point.
You played wide receiver.
Yeah, but whatever. So, but a lot of people had to come train us. And so I had to interact with a lot of soldiers from the regular Army. And they would all come up to me and be like, I could have played football at Oklahoma. I could have played football at Alabama. And you realize, like, bro, you could have never played football at Alabama. You know what I mean? You think you can. You know what I mean?
Right, it's a whole different skill.
Okay, so that's who I am right now talking about swimming.
right.
Well,
so you're saying Phelps could be listening to this and be like, "Yo, this
Phelps
guy
is not going to be listening to this.
Phelps could be listening to this.
Dang, bro.
Phelps could be
probably
out
ain't
there.
listening.
Shout out to Michael
Who is
Phelps.
listening
I know
to
you're
this?
out here. I know you hear this. I know you hear this.
Michael Phelps is a hero around here for sure.
For sure,
yeah.
bro.
For sure.
Legend.
That man brought home, bro. He's probably
He's a goat.
yeah, bro. He's in the conversation of goats. You
That
know,
one dude kind of
goats
came and took the
goats.
glory, though. I forgot his name, though. So maybe he didn't take
No one took the glory
For that type of statement, I would say that I would have smashed Michael Phelps.
No.
Bro, I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Let's just leave it at that.
All right, if you're hearing this,
why
Phelps,
back down?
We're definitely going to close this topic out by saying I low-key can barely swim.
Okay. Well,
So,
I'm a fairly
yeah.
good swimmer.
I mean, I think I can manage, but
I can swim pretty
not
well.
really.
I can hold my
You know what
own.
I mean? I think I could, yeah. Anyway, over the weekend, Travis Scott, what do you guys know about Astro World?
You know, I heard some crazy things.
Do you know about Astro World?
Honestly, I was texting and driving my friends on my way over here, and they were testing me, and they were telling me that something about a needle in the crowd.
A needle?
A needle.
There has been reports coming from the Astro World premises, Travis Scott's music festival, that someone could have been injecting someone with drug-related needles, which then made people pass out in the crowd, leaving like 8 people deceased and 300 people injured.
And this is all from the needle guy?
Well, they're trying to correlate it. It's a lot of things going on. People,
I didn't hear about the needle.
Does anything ever happen? Do you ever read a story?
I've heard of needles being a thing in.
Do you ever read a story like we were just talking about right now that my buddies were texting me, whatever? Do you ever read a story and say, "Man, like it all sounds like you can never you can never find the truth. Like we'll never find out what happened in Astro World
For sure.
Nothing that you read is ever true unless you were there, unless you witness it."
But even if you were there, even if you were there and witnessing it,
too.
I don't think you'll still know what the truth is.
No, but some people be exact.
That's the thing.
There's a lot of capping.
Yeah, some people go to Astro World. They see like, you see all these person giving like huge paragraphs of what happened. some people be exaggerating, just wanting their story to be the story.
Yeah.
Right,
and trying to get famous.
And
I'm not saying these things.
But you know what? But conspiracies are so juicy too. They entertain.
For sure.
Everybody's an
Some
addict.
conspiracies be kind of.
Yeah, but everybody's an addict, bro. Everybody's an addict to finding something on their phone. They're gonna just shoot their dopamine. You know, let's talk the Mandalay. You know what I mean? Mandalay. How many? I want to say conspiracy. How many theories are out there? You know, that are so outlandish regarding what happened at the Mandalay Hotel in Vegas. You know, big government knows something about it. It almost feels like every single time you hear a story, you know. And today, the needle stuff seems pretty scary. Seems pretty.
That's a real thing. I've heard of that happening.
With needles?
The needles?
Yes. No,
Bro,
that's
have
happening.
you ever been to a festival?
No, bro. No. I grew up in Vegas, bro. So like,
Did you go to a festival?
no, I
Yeah,
never
neither
went to.
have I.
No, bro, because that was a thing. There was people. I've been to festivals, yes, but not in Vegas because
Astro was
when I was
there?
growing up there, bro, there was a news story because someone was walking around poking people with
Jabbing
like
folks.
HIV needles and stuff.
Oh,
bro.
freak.
At festivals.
Oh my gosh.
And-
They didn't feel it though.
I don't know if they fell or not, but I'm saying like I've heard of stories like this where people would do that in
People are
large,
sick out here.
tight, packed spaces where people are like fairly drunk and you know.
I would say that culturally, Americans love stories that are like this about child abductions and all this crazy rarities.
Wow, you're making us sound horrible.
No, because honestly, you know why? The main reason, because when I compare the life that my kids are going to have in the United States compared to the one that I had, sometimes it saddens me that they're not going to be able to walk out the street when they're 6, 7 years old and hang out with their friends, you know, and then come back home. Because in America, that's inconceivable that you would let your kids just go out and play in the streets. Because we read so many of these stories about concerts with needles, Mandalays,
But when I grew up,
kidnappings.
I went outside, but I guess times are changing.
Times are
Nobody
definitely-
really goes outside anymore. Kids.
No, not
They
as
don't ride
much.
bikes.
Not as
Nobody
much.
rides bikes. Nobody goes outside.
No one's outside like playing like you know, 3 flags up. You know,
Yeah,
that was the game.
Shit, me and my brothers, we used to be outside.
We used to be hooping.
But didn't you grow up in the boonies, like out in the middle of nowhere?
No. Just in Alabama. I mean, I was in the
Alabama.
suburbs. Good old suburbs.
The
Suburban
burbs.
kid.
I feel that.
Good old suburbs. Good old Hoover, Alabama.
You know, but the crazy thing is that you still got to drive everywhere. That's the thing that I feel.
You guys be walking?
Yeah, but that's a give and take with having
Bro,
space.
we're
though,
fat in
like-
America now. Y'all, when I last time I went here, everybody's slim.
There's so much land and space here.
Everybody's slim. Just slim.
Yeah.
It's good looking people. Here? No, I'll say this. When I went to LA with you, bro, where were we? Manhattan, Hermosa Beach?
Yeah.
I've never seen so many slim people ever in my life. I'm
Yeah.
like, everyone in this neighborhood is just jogging, riding a bike, walking, playing volleyball, doing something active.
How many of them were sucking their stomach in as they were walking around?
Now that I don't know. I wasn't looking that hard, but it looked like everyone was like, man, I want to look good.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
And I was feeling the vibe.
Marlon's like, I want to be part of that.
Not that I wanted to be one of those guys, but I kind of did. I mean, I feel like I'm already one of those guys, regardless. That I want to, work out. But it was different. It was different. But
It's easy to want
with
to
the
be
Travis
like that.
Scott thing, this is the question. This is the thing that is being brought to people's attention. They're saying Travis Scott should be held liable. In the past, he's enticed at a riot, went to jail, or got arrested for that. He promotes out of controlness behavior, they say. But I don't know. It's a slippery slope.
It is.
But I think they said 50,000 people were supposed to be there. People were breaking in, and it was like over 100K. That's a lot of extra people.
I
So
think
I don't
he
know
will
if he
have
can
to be held
liable.
accountable in some way. I'm not sure if he'll do like any time.
What are you
Like,
going to do? You're going to sentence him to jail?
No, that's what I just said.
For creating great music and getting people pumped at a concert?
no,
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I don't know either.
but he's
people are saying-
responsible for the
I don't know
countermeasures.
anything about the situation.
So he put on the whole concert, so he's responsible for like
I know, but we don't know the details. We don't know the
exactly. We don't know the
affidavits.
details. We don't know the details.
we don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
We don't. We don't know who's all like part of
That's
the
what I'm saying.
management, part of whoever put on Astro World.
As
You
media
know.
consumers, I just feel like whenever we read anything, I'm just like, I just don't know what's going on.
But
I know.
that's kind of
Anything's true anymore. You know, I'm just in.
There's something.
That's media for the
Something
rest
is
of time.
true.
Yeah,
We just don't know what it is
Huxley-
yet.
But the truth you'll never know.
but maybe you'll know, and you just don't know it is the truth.
Yeah, you're right.
There was a writer that anticipated this, Adolphus Huxley, and he anticipated there'll be a future with so much information that you just wouldn't know,
What the truth.
Right. So.
Yeah. I mean,
Is that in
I don't
the
think
book?
we're there yet. I don't think we're there yet.
I like that. What is that in a book? It's in a book?
No, he's a writer. I'm oversimplifying a lot of what he said, but it had to do with the value of information, in the future based on the fact that you can have so many
freaking
media
knows?
outlets. I'm right. We see it in the football world all the time. With
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
what works, what doesn't work, the theories, the narratives.
Oh yeah.
Some people.
It's actually hilarious, being like first person, like seeing like some of what the media tweets, and then knowing that like this isn't true, and then just seeing people
And then it
believe
goes
it.
out as shit. Yeah, it's
And
all.
it's like, wow, that's just reality, and like whatever happens in media, people are just gonna kind of run with it and go with it, I guess, right?
Yeah. Speaking of
sad.
football, speaking of the football world, I feel like we've been beating on the dead horse for a while here about this vaccine, COVID.
Never enough.
It's never enough.
Never enough.
Aaron Rodgers, Mr. I'm immunized.
Immunized.
He said that back in, I don't know when. Comes out he was not vaccinated. And he's kind of made a little uproar recently. But I personally think, hey, Aaron, are you vaccinated? He said, I'm immunized. He didn't really lie that he didn't have the vaccine. But he also did. I don't know. I mean, I think that's their fault.
Marlon, listen, I'm gonna look at you straight in the face, and I'm gonna ask you the question, and you're gonna be genuine with me when I ask you this. Okay?
Yeah, come on.
Do you feel as a teammate, if somebody around you, right?
Yeah.
Somebody around you, let's say,
Yeah.
pick a teammate that was
Yeah.
in your locker room,
Yeah.
and they said they were vaccinated, but they were not. Are you gonna really be like, oh wow, all the times that I was close to you, are you gonna care at all?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You're not gonna care at all. Are you kidding
Dude,
me?
I'm going to feel like I have
Well,
been
if they end up getting
betrayed.
COVID, then I'll be like, whoa.
Do you feel like you treat?
No.
You're not gonna care.
Yeah, but I'll say this. I do not care if you're vaccinated, unvaccinated.
Right.
I don't care at all.
Right,
But I do care about the guys that aren't vaccinated that get fined and all this stuff.
So you're,
Right.
so you're speaking from a fine standpoint.
I'm speaking of it from a rule standpoint.
Yeah.
From a rule standpoint, from a
I
fine
see my
standpoint.
guys frustrated.
They had to
about-
treat all those
But
guys.
we don't know the information regarding whether he was following the protocols.
We don't, and that's a very important
That's what
thing.
I'm
He
saying.
wasn't.
How do you know?
That's what
I seen a video of him at his Halloween party without a mask on. You wouldn't have even been able to go to that
is
party.
true.
I don't know.
is true.
That's all. That's the only thing I know.
I don't know the. I don't know
the
I
details
don't
and
know
the
the
facts.
evidence.
Yeah.
But I just know this: if we had a Halloween party
Yes.
and I was unvaccinated,
Yes.
I would not be able to go.
But also,
or get fined.
Who's gonna go? and
Marlon.
take the L?
But also, let me look at you straight in the face, and now let me ask you:
Come on.
what do you think about the rules that the NFL put for COVID over the last 20 months?
Bro, a lot of us don't agree with it.
Yeah,
How
I talked to the PA.
You don't
about
agree
this.
with it?
I didn't agree with a lot of
None
this.
of us, barely any of us agree with it, bro.
Listen, when last year I had to, and I mean, I don't know, maybe this is, everybody had their moments. I just thought that I'll always remember this scenario, this existential crisis that I had in my head of, not being able to come to meetings, doing meetings through iPads.
See, I was
Beautiful.
liking that.
I mean,
bro. Meetings at the house.
Underrated,
The
bro.
Bears, for sure. That's another
Fire.
topic. We also don't know. As much as I'm criticizing the stupidity of some of the rules, I do have to admit that it was the best year of my life. You know what I mean?
Some part of that,
Sure,
the
you're
shoring,
lying.
the
I love
shoring,
that. That was
the shoring off season.
Bro, what
or
about
camp, the
us?
shoring
Our
camp.
game against the Steelers last year.
Yeah.
You probably pissed it.
That was obvious.
The fact that I was in my, the fact that I was hanging out with my boys.
Right, you had plenty,
doing-
lot more
doing
time.
meetings,
Yeah,
so much more time.
yeah. It eliminated a lot of the.
Stadiums that were empty, amazing. No silent count.
No silent count.
You
It
like
is-
the empty? I didn't mind the empty stadium.
Because you don't
for a
have to
tackle?
deal with a guy jumping the snap when there's 100,000 people
Yeah.
screaming down your ear and he's
Yeah,
trying
for
to
sure,
jump the
for
snap. You know,
But I guess my point is this: the rules last year, all this crazy separation, to then go onto the field and put face mask to face mask, pucker her lips, and go on each other's faces.
And then wear a mask on the sideline.
That to me was the part that I was just like, bro, like, there's no way.
Oh yeah, it was definitely ridiculous. Like just walking outside to practice, you have to put a mask on, and then you take
Walking
it off.
right in.
Yeah.
You take it off when you get. Of
Well,
course,
you're technically supposed to wear it
but
at all times. Guys.
The thing is, we all knew it was shitty, but we all just like.
Oh, we all have to do for sure, because
we
the
all
world
just
was going
did
through
it.
a pandemic.
Or you could have opted
I would never
out.
criticize.
Or you could opt out. People did opt out, and that's their
I really was
decision.
still surprised people opted out, but everyone's choice.
Some people had legit reasons though.
Health stuff.
Yeah, health reasons.
But then
you know?
what about this year? Vaccine.
I'm not criticizing it as much as I am being nostalgic about it. You know,
it was a beautiful time that off season.
it was a beautiful. It got the team close together.
Yes.
I mean, for the reason of like, what's going on tomorrow? Does anybody know the schedule? You know what I mean? Like that was a big thing. But when it comes to the vaccine and not vaccine, like we cannot pretend. You know, as
No.
What I don't like is, okay, I want to say what I don't like. I hate when I sound like every other podcaster. You know, here are all the problems in the world. Let me tell you all about them. I would say nobody should criticize Aaron Rodgers for putting his teammates at risk. You know,
No, I was not saying no.
or that, you know what I mean? That's the part that I'm just like, okay, because I think the mainstream media. I mean, I try to ignore sports media as much as I can, but this story has filtered into
Big
media. Aaron Rodgers is dropping Joe Rogan's name, you know, who's one of my favorite podcasters, you know, into the whole conversation. He's already embroiled in a major, fight, with CNN and all these networks regarding ivermectin and the medicine that he was taking. So,
bro,
yes. When mainstream media makes him look like a bad guy because of his team, is like, listen, people don't understand in the huddle, vaccinated players.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that, for sure.
I think Marlon's point was it's more because the other guys that weren't vaccinated had to deal with all this other.
If it's about the fines, then
it's not even the fines. It's like you said, all those other rules that were just like, I thought they were ridiculous.
Yeah,
still.
for the
like,
way
I feel bad for the people on our team who had to deal with all the rules and stuff. You know, they were getting fined. You know, we've known guys that got fined multiple times on our team.
Yeah,
so you want to snitch on people?
No, I'm not trying to snitch on people.
I don't know why.
Listen, I'm saying like, I hate that he ended up getting COVID. First of all,
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
For sure.
I hate that happened. Second of all, I hate that he wasn't doing everything that the other guys were doing that didn't have the vaccine.
We don't know. We were not. Were you with the team?
But he just said there was picture of him at a Halloween party.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
And like we already know guys that got.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I have to play devil's advocate.
No, it's fine. I'm saying.
I understand.
This is the other side of.
And I feels like I'm defending Aaron Rodgers. I'm just.
I understand what side.
Opinions,
but no. I think you're defending a good side. Yeah, I think you're defending a good side in what you're saying. Like it's stupid to say that he was putting us at risk.
Yes.
Because we're all going to be with him in the huddle, just like with any other unvaccinated player, whether we know about it or not. Right?
You're saying he was putting us at risk?
No, it's stupid to think that he was putting us at risk.
For sure.
Because we're going to be around him regardless. But like he was saying, the other side is
when it comes down to the protocols and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Yeah.
At
the end of the day, to end this Aaron Rodgers debacle,
it's kind of one of those things. If we never knew about it, and if you never got COVID, and like it wouldn't have mattered, right? Like no one would have cared. Life would have just went on. But it sucks that like it happened, and that's what it just sucks that like it happened.
Cares, but it is news because nowadays news is oftentimes about really nothing.
I mean, obviously, they're always looking for something, bro. Like,
people got to.
They're just running out of stuff to.
You gotta find something, dude, bro. You gotta find something to talk about.
Especially with social media these days, it's like you have to be like up to date. They'll talk about like, they talk about like a bunch of rats hanging out in a park, and just call it news. You probably watched that video too.
But the vaccine, bro, honestly, the vaccine only saves you. That's what is not. I feel like talked about enough.
That's not we don't. You now you're going into the massive conversation /
No, but saying like, I'm at risk because you don't have the vaccine. That has nothing to do. The vaccine's only supposed to help you.
I think some people. I think if you talk to officials, some the CDC will tell you something.
If everyone gets it,
debates, what's going to do? And then we go back to the point that we cannot find the truth about anything because there's too much information out there.
I guess it helps vulnerable people.
Stops the spread.
Because if you have a lesser chance of getting it, then that lesser chance helps.
The percentage of you getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not a doctor here, man. I'm just here. I just play ball.
It's okay. This is why we talk, bro.
Do some other things. All right.
This is why we talk and figure it out.
All right. This is just a random tidbit story.
We're not doing petty things.
Dude, listen to this story.
We have to do petty things.
Listen to this story, brother.
No, we don't, Alahan.
If you don't have anything to say,
don't say anything at all. Wait, nice to say, right?
no. If you don't have a story to tell, don't.
Story.
But I'm telling a story about a good friend of mine.
Okay, tell the story.
A good friend of mine was dating this girl. I mean, they were living together. They were like really, really close.
Cool.
They get into, I guess, a whole argument, whatever. Or maybe things were going bad for a while. He kicks her out of the house.
Wow.
He's like, yo, you got to go. Kicks her out. He comes back to the house. Realizes like, oh man, I'm having a little bowel movement here. I'm having a little stuff going on in the stomach, man. Let me go to the bathroom. Goes to the bathroom. She took every single roll of toilet paper out of the house.
Whoa.
When she left.
No way. No way.
And as I was
Go take a shower.
as you're telling me this story,
Disgusting.
I was sitting there thinking like, man, that sounds like
It's the next best thing,
She
I
was
guess.
really
Paper
like
towels,
extremely
wipes.
petty. As she was moving all her stuff out, she's
That's
like,
petty, but it's funny.
it's
and
hilarious.
kinda nice.
It's hilarious. Like
It's kinda
I would've
nice.
Been, but I would have been.
It's classy.
You would have
It's
been
kinda like,
mad,
you
but
miss
then you
me.
would have laughed. Yeah,
You're
that's-
acting like you're pissed.
there we
I
go.
get it. Let me call you
You
back.
probably would have like hit her like,
Yeah.
yo, why would you do it? Like it was.
Major props to her. She did it
That's
right.
what I'm saying. It was a
Yeah.
great petty thing.
Yeah, a great pretty thing. For
So
sure.
I ask,
I agree.
if nothing comes to mind,
I don't know. I think everyone's different.
that's fine. If nothing comes to mind, if you have a similar story, I feel like this would be a good, funny conversation. But petty things do not come to mind because I can't even think of anything that I've really done or had happened to me in my,
That happened to your friend, you said? You said?
yes. But they just recently, he just proposed to her. So,
Wow, so things turned out.
yeah, things are not, I saw on his social media, I was like, wow, that took a turn for the good.
That's what I'm saying, because that was a good move.
It's probably because he took the toilet paper.
They were meant to be together.
That's what I'm saying. It was like, dang, I got to get with her
He
now.
found
but
that funny.
Probably.
I would think it's funny.
I wouldn't have thought it was funny if I was on the toilet, though.
I would have probably smirked eventually, but
Especially if you was in the half bath. Like, using the half bath, didn't even have a shower accessible. And you didn't have a, you know what I mean?
If you're in the half
like,
bath.
dang, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I would have been pissed at that point. Then I would have had to walk, freaking.
should never be in the half bath in your own house.
I'd be hopping in my half bath sometimes.
What?
I mean, somebody's right there. I'm like, do I want to go to my
Oh,
bedroom?
yes, always.
Oh,
But
Right?
2/3 of the world don't use toilet paper.
Yes,
of the
but
world
this
don't use toilet
third
paper?
does.
Yeah, I know. But sometimes I think about it and I'm like,
you just take it and
Yeah,
just pull
you
the
just
pants
think
right
about
up.
it, you're like, no.
imagine if you told that story to 2/3 of the world and there was like, what's petty about it? You know
Well,
what I mean?
I'm
context
gonna get a bidet in my
matters.
crib.
A what?
A bidet.
A bidet?
I went to
'Cause
Ukraine.
they use bidets in Europe.
Yeah, they do. Well, some places use it.
I love the bidets.
I don't know.
No weird stuff, but
I think if it was
about cleanliness,
accessible, I don't think toilet papers is accessible.
into the
Honestly, you want to know something that is crazy that I've thought about this, for a while. The position of the, you guys ever heard of the squatty potty?
Yes.
I think when I went to
for the little kid, for kids.
No, it's like this thing you put your
Sorry,
feet
my
on.
fault.
potty
I don't
trainer.
know. I don't know.
one of the things that I noticed when I went to Afghanistan was the way that people,
Clean.
We'll go to the bathroom. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like the way they defecate. Is that the word? For the
Poop.
podcast.
Defecate, nice.
Shit.
Yeah,
Nice. There we go. You
They
know
were the
that.
drop a deuce.
Or that.
Dude, they just squat down.
Where at?
Like all the
Anywhere.
way.
They just go. They put they have these man dresses that cover their legs, so they basically wear
They take a crap in the middle of anywhere.
of anywhere. Anywhere, yeah.
No, where is this?
In Afghanistan,
and they don't wipe.
actually, no, they don't wipe because if you go all the way down,
You
Disease.
squat down.
Disease.
you squat all the way down.
All I think about.
You do what's called a perfect, and you don't have to wipe.
Who's called it a perfect?
You know,
See, I'm happy I brought up this petty story because I knew something good was going to come out of it. You mean to tell me in Afghanistan,
in Afghanistan, in 2000,
you will be walking on the street?
and in a lot of places around the world, they give you in China, for example, in a lot of places around the world, where whenever you feel the urge, you go and you squat and you go and you.
There's no way you're walking through downtown Beijing and you can just take a
Honestly,
shit in the middle of the road.
It is actually. This is actually what something. Okay, So one of my buddies that went to China.
I feel like China, isn't there a lot of laws and stuff?
No, but the problem is that okay, listen. So this is actually, I think this is D'Angelo Williams told me this story because he went to China. When you go to some cities in China, rural people that come from the fields, they come into the city, into like a mall. Like, think about the culture change. You know, you live in these super rural areas, incredibly removed from civilization, where you do this type of thing all the time. Where you're working, you got to go, you squat down, and then you can continue moving on. And then one day they take you into a mall. I mean, you drive or you go on a plane or a train or whatever, 6-7 hours away, and you're in a completely different world. That stuff happens. It's very difficult for Americans to think, outside of the United States. But some people don't grow up with electricity, television, and then one day they go into the city and it's like, holy smokes, this is so crazy. So D'Angelo Williams was telling me that there was a lot of droppings around the mall and other places from the rural people that would come
the mall.
In the mall?
Yeah, in and around the mall. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna be completely honest.
You don't think this?
I can barely believe this.
They're okay with that?
But it depends on the city that we were talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
Just imagine walking in the mall and you just step in feces.
because you just come from, you know what I mean? Like they just go into a corner or whatever, and then,
They have people to clean that up.
no, because they don't think that stuff.
It sits there,
They don't.
bro. Is this true?
I mean, obviously, I cannot verify that it happens in China. I'm sure, honestly, you can find YouTube videos and stuff like that, and this happens all the time.
Kev, pull up the video.
I will say this. When I went to
they do this in LA all the time.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's like people who are homeless that don't have anywhere to shit.
But that's what I'm saying. It's the same rationale.
When I went to Ukraine,
But these people have a place to poop.
Who? Where?
In the mall, there's
They've
bathrooms.
never been to a mall in their lives.
Okay.
It's their first time ever going to a city.
You're talking about people whose first time.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's like a first timer.
Right.
Okay. Well,
wait, first,
You encounter people at these malls.
How many first timers are there?
I was saying, even if there's 2 or 3 every single day, a random day, you'll find 2 or 3 random droppings a day. You know what I mean?
So I guess there's one shit preferred.
I mean, listen, in
the toilets. I'll say this: when I went to Ukraine, they had toilets that were like the thing was on the ground.
Right.
I didn't understand what.
Right.
That's what he's squat down. Did you squat?
No, but it was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right.
But there was no seat.
Right.
Doesn't matter. You squat down.
You squat all the way down like you're doing like
Yeah.
that.
I didn't know. I did not do poop there.
Bro, that's the way.
I did not.
Like a
I just
sumo squat.
I just remember opening the door and I'm like, oh frick, there's a hole in the ground. But it was like a mini toilet, but it wasn't a toilet. It was just a hole.
They expect you to like do like a sumo squat.
The sumo squat.
I didn't do that crap, but I just peed. But maybe Ukraine's a little more different than these other places because I didn't see just dumps just in the middle of the track.
Ukraine is a little.
I was there for a track meet.
No, but Ukraine is a little more
classy,
civilized. Yeah.
Because they have bidets. That's when I first, I think, saw a bidet.
Right.
No, the first time I saw a bidet.
But Afghanistan is the 3rd poorest country in the world, and it looks exactly like the Bible. I mean, I'm like, nothing has changed. Houses made out of mud. Most houses don't have electricity. You have your donkey and your
donkeys.
Yeah, they have tons of donkeys. They're
mules,
amazing mules. You know what I mean? And they help you carry this stuff to the field, and you work the fields all day. You know?
Wow.
So when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Biblical times.
It is kind of biblical times.
That is supposed to be where the sacred lands
that's
are.
why they're the Taliban. The Taliban, they're the ultra conservatives. They haven't evolved in 4,000 years. Still the same. Don't ever change.
Those Taliban. Those freaking Taliban, man.
If I'm walking and someone just straight drops a deuce in front of me,
happens all the time.
Actually, I ain't gonna lie. If everyone's doing it, I might do it myself.
That's what I'm saying.
If it's normal, I would just do it.
Yeah, I can see you do that.
I definitely would do it for sure.
You would.
I mean, don't you think it's more, don't you think it's more strange? Us 3, for example, right here. Don't you think it's more strange that we all have to convene to the same spot to do number 1 and number 2?
I personally,
you think it should be 2 separate spots?
That is that.
Think about this, bro.
It's like you just walk out of this podcast room and just drop a deuce on my carpet, and I'm like, all right, that's no big deal.
What I'm saying is, like, you can, I think that you can find some space, and then you do it on your own privacy and space. But in actuality, us 3 are, sitting inches from each other every single day, obviously divided by the wall of the stalls, because, there's only, 10 stalls?
Right.
8 stalls? So we all have to go to the same 8 stalls, the same spot to drop a deuce. Whereas, in Afghanistan, can say like, you know what, I'm gonna go to that tree today. Today I'm gonna go to that one over there.
Yeah.
You're making a good point.
I don't have to have some flip flops. You know what I mean? That I can say, oh, look, there's Ronnie Stanley next to me. Ronnie, what's up? What time we got meetings? You know what I mean? Or listen to.
I do hate when people talk to me, but looking at my flip flop number while I'm in the stall.
Are you kidding me? I just hate how you start hearing all the motorcycles starting up in all the bathrooms at the same time after meetings.
Gosh.
Nothing's worse than
it's terrible.
I do like that in my own space.
Right. You know what I mean?
That's why I say you got to go to your master bathroom, bro.
Bro, but if you're in that, I live by myself. Though.
You gotta go to the
every toilet in here is mine.
I guess so.
I'll be showing all the toilets.
But I bet the master has the most room.
You want to take this conversation to the next level?
Gosh.
Because I just thought about this.
Oh gosh. Buckle up, baby. Let's go.
Okay, this is one of those stories. So when I went to Ranger School was one of the things that you had to graduate from before joining the Army. So I spent a year in Georgia, in Columbus, Georgia. That's when I used to go to Alabama all the time. That's
I remember that.
Well, Auburn. On the weekends, you're like, okay, what am I going to do? And one of the things you have to do at the end is Ranger School. And for Ranger School, they basically teach you how to patrol. They teach you all the principles of patrolling, how to take lead, how to be a leader, how to pass that information, communicate it in a very challenging environment. So you're testing yourself and you're finding who you are, the whole spiel. Man, one of the things that you have to find out, I mean, for guys like us, hyper competitive, I'm going to get it no matter what, it's easy, you know what I mean? Let the Navy SEALs tell you the stories and make the movies about, how hard these things are. The hardest thing you have to do, in my opinion, is drop a deuce in front of everybody when you're doing a patrol base. Because when you establish a patrol base, which is basically the size of a basketball court, and you have to drop a deuce, you cannot do it outside the patrol base. Outside the patrol base is an unsecure area. You have to stay inside at all times. So if you have the need to go, you have to go to the center of the patrol base.
The center?
Where the leaders are, discussing the plans for the next day, drop your pants, hug the tree, and start pushing.
Start pushing.
While they're having a conversation right next to you. So one of the images that most Rangers have of Ranger School is having a conversation with your buddy, looking behind you and seeing some bare cheeks holding a tree. And that happens because every single person has to go through, so...
Just once or multiple times?
As many times you have to go.
How long is
anyone cleaning the tree?
This is 3 months.
And who's cleaning the tree?
You leave.
Y'all in the basketball court for 3 months?
Okay, it's the size of a basketball field, a basketball court.
I know. Y'all are around the area.
Around the area. So when you patrol, basically you have 38 men. You say like, I'm going to go to that objective over there. So you have to walk through the woods, encounter some enemy, pretend, learn how to maneuver, when you get encounters from the enemy and whatnot. And then at night you have to secure a patrol base. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then you have to go sleep for the night.
Okay.
Or you have to, let's say that you want to pause for whatever to make comms, make communication with like higher headquarters. So you set up a patrol. Every single time you stop, basically, you set up a patrol base.
Okay. All right, I got you.
So
I was thinking this was a.
Okay.
I was thinking this was like the same
the
spot.
trees, I thought I was thinking.
No.
I was gonna say this is like a pile of.
Yeah.
Change, but that's what ends up becoming. And actually a lot of missions in Afghanistan, when you have to go to a place like a basketball court size, type area for like 2-3 days. At the end of the day, when you leave, when you clean up all your area, all you see is just nothing but everyone's
shit.
Yeah, everyone's shit all over the place.
Wow. Man, I'm just like man, maybe we should change the subject. People might not.
Veterans Week.
This is a weird topic. UFC Fight Night.
Yes.
The fight I watched, I don't remember the name though, but man, I forgot the name, but this fight was crazy. Man, hold up. Talk about Fight Night.
Usman. That's all I need to say.
I had to go to sleep because we had a game.
Did you watch the fight?
No, but what was the fight?
He had to go to sleep.
It was like
probably like 1:30 a.m.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
What? It was Saturday night, wasn't it? Day before the game. Wasn't
Yes.
It? Yeah.
Wait, I gotta go 1 hour.
Yeah.
I would have to say that I love I train with UFC fighters this offseason, and I fell in love with the sport, and I fell in love with how hard these fighters
You think about getting in that ring?
work out.
They do train really hard.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's good though.
See how I claimed earlier that I was smash Michael Phelps?
Yeah.
There's no way I'm saying that I was smash anybody
In the UFC.
in the UFC because I'm just not willing to get hit in the face.
Me either. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, you have.
I
said
ain't never
that.
getting in a ring. The only thing I think that is embarrassing in all of sports is getting knocked down on the canvas, laid out, pictures everywhere.
But that's not embarrassing, I don't think. If
That's
you're-
the only thing to me that I don't think getting mossed on, any of that.
Getting
but
dunked on.
Getting dunked on. Who cares to get dunked on? Y'all just get dunked on.
You don't think that a wide receiver
No.
jumping,
Putting his nuts on my head.
putting his
no.
nuts on your face
No.
while you look like this in the picture,
No.
and he's smiling, looking at you like this.
Because that's probably going to happen multiple times in my career. But you get knocked out, head and jerk, your tongue out.
fighter can
you
say
lay it
something.
down, your mouthpiece spit out, and everyone just click, 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 click. Dude's doing a backflip off the ropes.
It is pretty
Yeah,
demanding.
that's what I'm saying.
I guess,
It's
but
very.
to a fighter, it's just like getting mossed. Like in your opinion, they're in their head. They're just
no.
like, it's gonna happen.
You can lose a fight and not get knocked out to sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
You can fight a whole career
Bro, they'll
But you
and
can
not get knocked out to sleep.
You can play. Can you play a whole?
No one-
defensive
everyone
back
is
career
going to
and
get
never
mossed
Not
on.
get mossed.
Everyone's gonna get blocked and pancake. Y'all are gonna pancake many people. Someone's gonna put you on your tail too.
Yeah, happened last weekend.
And it's,
It does happen for sure.
it's what I'm saying.
It happens.
It's like next game.
It's part of the game.
But sometimes people get knocked out and never can bounce back. Ronda Rousey,
Is that what happened?
bro, she was, I thought, the top dog. Then she got cooked.
Yeah.
Confidence was gone. Got cooked again. Looking, I mean, she had drunk legs like off the first punch.
How about losing a chess match in front of the whole world? That's got to be pretty embarrassing too.
Shut up.
You just look disheveled at the end of the chess match, conceding.
Reminds me of Queen's
shaking
Gambit
your
on
hand,
Netflix.
knocking the king down.
Knocked out. is
Chess
probably
though?
worse.
I mean, is chess losing chess embarrassing?
I'm trying to think of something that is more.
Embarrassing than getting just.
But I don't think it's embarrassing. I hate when you say the word embarrassment, though. You should be embarrassed for doing things like stealing and cheating and doing bad things. For participating in a sport and not performing as good as you should have, that should never be an embarrassment
true.
type thing.
But to me,
What's the word?
embarrassing.
Demoralizing?
I want to say humiliating.
Demeaning?
I don't want to say humiliating either.
Humiliating?
I want to say,
Bro, this dude is over here celebrating, doing backflips, kissing his wife and kids, and you still
I think-
laid out.
I know, but I don't think he has any hate for the fighter, and I don't think he's doing it. I don't think he's doing
No,
it
no
I
hate.
think he's doing it. He's happy because I feel like if you talk, especially, it's kind of the same thing in the
So
NFL.
what if he wasn't? What if he was like?
If it was personal,
Yeah.
Oh, yo,
Yeah.
yo, trash.
Yeah.
Like Conor
He's
McGregor
talking to
now.
you. Yeah. He's
I
like.
don't think so. I think the fighters have a lot of respect for you.
I think they do because they
Sometimes.
know any day could be their day to get knocked
That's what I'm
out.
saying.
Just like
Right.
any day can
That's
be
what I'm
your day.
saying.
So it's like,
Yeah, have you heard Mike Tyson now? Mike Tyson is like enlightened right now.
and he was the goat of trash
He
talking.
was. That's what I'm saying. He found his
Like he would knock you out and probably talk right over your knocked out
you
body.
knocked out as you finally getting your consciousness back. All you're hearing is his coach, his trainer saying, "I told you was gonna knock him out. I told, like, bro, I'm telling you, I'm telling you,
That's
bro,
how-
they
no.
talking crazy,
You're putting football words into fighting words,
bro.
That's not how
Bro.
fighting. I don't think that's how fighting goes.
I don't know how fighting goes. I made that up.
That's what
I
I'm
made
saying.
that up.
You made
I
it up.
that
Of course you did.
I made that up
Because-
but I guarantee you,
No.
they're like, I told you, boy. I
feel-
know you was gonna knock him out in
No.
the first 10 seconds.
I feel
And
like
you like, dang, I think I
feel
knocked
like
him
no,
first.
because I feel, and this is I'm speaking from the experience of 2 months working in a UFC gym.
UFC might be different than boxing though.
Okay, we're talking about UFC boxing, same thing, bro. It's the same thing. They're martial
It's
arts.
not.
They have this.
I don't think
They have
UFC's
this
more dangerous.
martial
some
martial
savages.
arts have this thing about them that commands respect and it commands to a higher order, you know what I mean, to like the gods of fighting, the warrior gods,
I feel you. It's like a warrior code.
a warrior ethos, you
Yeah.
know. And I feel as if fighters are, more professional in that regard, you know. And in football is the opposite. In football is the absolute opposite. Football is just it's we want to make those you got mossed. We want to talk.
We want to embarrass.
You want to embarrass? I mean, that's
Yeah.
all the media is. The sports media is. Let's try to embarrass. I mean, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers earlier. It's all about how do we embarrass the athlete to sell more. And that's how you thought. The first thing you thought about was, I told you what it is. Because that's exactly.
No, but either way.
Think about.
That canvas,
you know what?
out.
One of the funniest.
He played out.
Oh, come on.
But he's got a point though with football. Always like,
what if he dies?
No, the best clip.
What if he dies? The fighter could die. So what are you gonna say?
100%.
What if he dies? You want to be the guy? You know what everybody fighters gonna think about you? So you have no class. You're not a fighter.
Bro.
You lost the moral code or the ethos of the sport.
But when have you ever seen a fighter actually going over there to check on somebody?
But you
it happens.
You assume
after they do their backflip and celebrate and party with their crew.
GSP,
you good?
Some of them pray.
Yeah, some
over the fighter.
pray
Some of them are
over
very
him.
respectful.
Very rare.
No, I'm telling you right now.
Usually the better ones, like the ones that are known, usually don't get too hype. Like they get hype, but they're not like
you're so jaded.
taunting.
You're so jaded because you're a cornerback. That's why.
How?
Because you have to as a cornerback, you got to be ready to go all the time. You have to be, because you know that stuff is going to be. You know, we were talking earlier.
Same as a tackle, though.
Same as a tackle for sure. But I think for a tackle is different because us as creatures, meaning offensive linemen, we're just like, bro. You know what I mean? Like this is you know, I'm a miner here. I'm here with my shovel. You know what I mean? Like this is my daily bread.
Blue collar, bro.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
This is my daily bread.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can say to me is gonna make me feel any worse than I am right now. You know, mentally, physically, anything. You know.
Right.
But it is funny because I do remember, you know, going back to the differences between Europe and the United States. When I come into, you know, my first football practice. First of all, how much people scream and yell, you know, for doing drills at high intensity. Mm-hmm. And then the second one is how much they pit people against each other in that fashion. And in the world of football, there's this thing that is almost separate from the sport itself.
Right.
That is one-on-ones.
Yes, I agree with you.
One-on-ones. One-on-ones is...
It wins ball games.
One-on-ones is the only thing you think about doing in practice. It's the only thing you think about doing in practice. It's like,
Well,
when do I have one-on-ones? When do I have to have
Every
my
play
soul?
is a one-on-one.
That is no, I see what he's saying. That is true.
It is true.
You can go to the whole practice.
What are you talking about? Every
But we do that.
Every plays one-on-one.
We
bro.
do
You
ours
got
at the
slide
beginning.
going through the chips.
You
We
know,
do ours at the beginning.
you know what I mean? Every play is
Bro, one-on-ones.
We do our one-on-one at the beginning.
One-on-ones. Joint practices.
Oh, that's all you're thinking about.
Yes.
For sure.
That's all you're thinking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that's the only time when it's like
you versus him, and you're gonna have that coach going like, I told you you're gonna bull rush it. Goes through him, like, no bull rush, not now. Let's work on our hands or something.
It's not a teaching. It's not a teaching thing. It's just like
It's a
like a pit.
win. It's a win.
It's
a win.
But I just feel like it's interesting
what it
how
is.
our mentality comes from the pits, and we're pit workers. You know what I mean? And UFC fighters have more class, even though it looks like they're humiliating, and because they're knocked out and people don't take. How many times have you seen a picture of a UFC fighter knocked out, and the headline's been, oh, so and so got knocked out? The headline's usually the fighter with a wife raising the belt or whatever, and good things about him. How many times do you see football players just with the picture of, like, you know, the quarterback hands up in the air, you know what I mean, or to getting the confetti out of their eyes
fighters
when they're walking out of the Super Bowl, you know?
Like when a fighter knocks someone out, do they usually post?
They don't try to clown you, but this is what
Do they? Some do. Some are like that, and I think that's what's turned fighting into like what it is now. It's more of like an exhibition thing.
Fighting?
Yeah, you know, they've turned. At least boxing.
Oh, yeah,
they've turned boxing into like an exhibition.
No, that's because the Jake Paul YouTuber.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But boxing has lost a lot of.
Because they don't really try to. They just try
I just
to
feel
run
like
around.
people, honestly, I mean, back in the day,
They was boxing.
people used to huddle around radios to listen to the fight.
Right. It was huge.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And now it's lost it.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of it has to do with people saying, man, I don't know if I enjoy watching people punch each other in the face. You know what I mean?
No, facts.
Bro,
A lot of people, I mean, boxing used to be very popular. And then people said, Dad, Mom, I don't enjoy going to punch me in the face classes.
Because of what you were just saying about like people overhyping that aspect of like he knocked you out and like them making it
I just think that we are
a spectacle. They make it a spectacle more than it's like giving just the guy respect, you know?
What you're saying is exactly what I thought when I was watching Justin Gaethje. Did you used to watch Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler?
No.
Bro, this Michael Chandler dude was putting his hands down, letting himself get punched in the face at times.
I saw that.
And I'm sitting here watching this like, bro, this is like inhumane. UFC is way different than boxing, bro. UFC, you got to be very wild.
UFC is different. UFC is different.
Like, you get knocked down and like, he can just come jump on you and maul you. Like, bro, this Michael Chandler dude is tough. Even though he lost, I don't
have to be tough to be fighting the UFC.
Bro,
you gotta be
guys, those people are different.
Because I think you can really die. Like what you're saying.
You can easily die in UFC.
You can die.
I think you can die in the ring.
If you watch those fights up close.
Listen,
it's crazy.
I want to see the catharsis. I want to see the people summoning all their inner violence to get themselves to fight. That's some gladiator stuff. We talk about all the time.
I just watched Gladiator for the first time the other day.
We talk about all the time. Summon the violence. You know,
we have no choice.
Right.
Summon the violence.
No, because as you know, Ronnie and I always talk about it. Like when you play tackle, it's not like corner. You got to put your face in the fan every play.
You can't be wild at corner.
Right.
Or you're going to get cooked
but as a tackle, you have to be able to do that. You have to be able to say, you know, I just hugged my daughters and, you know, cuddle with my wife watching romantic comedy. And then tomorrow I have to use my head as a weapon. And I have to go
you
all out.
You have to enjoy it.
Right.
Y'all do so much grunting, bro. Right. There's so much.
But you have no choice is what he's saying. It's like, choice. If that defender.
Y'all hit every play, bro.
That defender is in a bad mood. Or he just wants to hit you as hard as he can.
Bull rush.
There's no way to finesse it. You know what I mean? You can't like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy like to trip over himself. Like you just like, all right, like
you gotta go. It's football.
All right, here it is. And you have to answer the call. That's what it is.
That's why. I mean, but the crazy thing is that a UFC fighter, you know, he has to harbor that inner violence for weeks.
That's a whole different thing though.
And then he has to unleash it.
You gotta like really
6 minutes. Yes.
You gotta really soak in that. I bet it's a lot of mental work that goes into fighting. Of course it is. At least, especially UFC, bro.
At least we get to play every week. A UFC fighter, when you know he gets knocked out, he has to wait. How long?
Bro, I think that's good though because I don't think those guys can like do those type of fights.
Yeah, but that loss soaks on you for a while.
No, of course not. I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is psychologically, for example, right?
Yeah, it soaks on you.
Psychologically, when you lose a game.
Yes, I know what you mean on that. Yes, you want to bounce back.
I'm still questioning why Harvard has not studied the dynamics and the psyche of football players during the season because they're hysterical from superstition, from habits and things that we do. To just how much our life changes when something goes one way or another, right? Mm-hmm.
But you got to move on, though.
But the only way that you can move on
sometimes
is to play another game.
No, that is true. Losing going into the bye week sucks.
Terrible.
Because you're like, dang.
He's going crazy.
And then you're like seeing people and all they want to talk about is the law.
Right. You want another opportunity to prove yourself.
To redeem yourself. Right.
Yes.
For sure.
And you're saying as a fighter, that can eat you up like over time, like not having that opportunity.
Fighter, you got 3-4 months to wait, you know?
Yeah. And then you're thinking, if I would have did this in this round.
That's true. And you're saying all that pent up aggression is now harbored into 15 minutes, 3 5-minute rounds or 5 5-minute rounds. Max. Bro, that's all you have to work with.
That UFC stuff is crazy, bro.
But yeah, that
means
it's even more dangerous.
It was a little bit,
you know.
It was kind of just rough.
But those guys are built different. Honestly,
and you know another thing
I didn't watch the main event though.
And you know another thing that's crazy that I feel is crazy, and I mean again, man, those guys. Because I mean, the reason why I'm saying this is because I hung out with a UFC fighter this offseason. I got to know him. I got to hang out with him. This guy's got an amazing story. He's a Spanish fighter. He fought in Senegalese fighting. He was just trying to do as many things as possible just to get into the UFC. Finally gets to the UFC when he's 38, 39. He does the TV show that whoever won it, will put you into the UFC. Forget what it's called.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Wins the show, complete beast. But man, he's 40 years old and he's out there fighting, and those guys don't make that much money.
Right.
And I was like, God, for how much money these fights are making.
Right. For that physical sacrifice you're putting on.
Because as us players, as NFL players, we're always.
Yes.
We're
always like,
we're members of a union.
Right.
We have a watchful eye over the whole, we get upset if we know there's some money being made. And I mean, think about the NCAA. That's another fascinating concept. I mean, those UFC fighters, they don't make that much money.
Right.
You know,
That's a big thing.
It's a big thing. It's a lot of sacrifice. It is true. It is truly a very romantic version of a warrior.
It is.
You know,
they more do it for the
version of a warrior.
Yeah. So that's why, I mean, in my opinion, I think that to me they're the ultimate. I don't know. They're
the ultimate warriors of our day.
If you're gonna become a fan of somebody, don't become a fan of Marlon Humphrey, bro. Become a fan of.
Sorry, dude.
Francis. Who's the
I wouldn't be a fan of myself either. Shoot.
Francis Ngannou.
Y'all can't see. Well, kinda. That's what I'm a fan of. I don't really got many people I even like fan of.
But that's boxing, bro. I get,
bro. UFC is so inhumane, though, bro. Them boys is just crazy.
It can be, like he was saying. There are people out there who do it, like they'll knock you out, and they're just like get bloodthirsty off of it. Khabib is like the epitome of like a warrior.
Yes,
like a true warrior of like every one of the UFC tries to be like.
He doesn't care about anything.
But Conor McGregor, I feel like he's like the epitome of like.
He's swaggy with it, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we'll feed in because he's swaggy. You know, he's popular. You know, he's trendy.
Honestly, whatever,
but he'll knock you out and talk shit over.
Whatever it is about UFC fighter,
he will definitely.
When you're around their presence, you notice that.
Yeah,
you feel as a football player, you do feel a little inferior in your toughness.
You feel as if you know this guy has something that you like lack. He has a skill that you lack.
But because he can knock you, bro.
Not even knock you out, bro. They can just like twist your arm or something, do something you don't even realize.
Listen, how about this? This is a fantastic example that I just came up with. If in this room right now, it's us, two of the top basketball players that are out there. Let's say Kevin Durant and LeBron James.
LeBron James, yep.
Just sitting right here. And then Usman and Khabib, we immediately establish a pecking order in terms of who's the more alpha, who's the least alpha. And UFC for sure up top.
Easily.
NBA for sure at the bottom.
But listen,
that's for sure at the bottom.
When we're talking about,
Katie's
like we were talking about primal like states, like you were talking about alphas, bro, UFC is probably like the most primal thing that like a human could do.
Bro.
We need to have the UFC around.
I think it's a healthy thing to do as long as guys are like Khabib. Like they do it for like the respect of the game. Like Khabib's like a dude, he's gonna submit you.
Do you think?
But he's done.
But I know he's done. He's done because like it's just too easy for him.
I thought it was because his father.
I think it's just too easy. I think it's just too easy.
I thought he said his father was.
No, he was done because like he didn't. I felt like he felt like this wasn't like a respectful thing. Like he didn't feel like. Too easy.
Wasn't he wrestling bears or something?
Some crazy shit, bro. Khabib is a beast.
Guys, on another note, that's all our time, guys. Alejandro Villanueva. Any thoughts, comments, and or concerns before we bounce up out of here?
Anything that's going to make any news outlet, edit it out.
Nothing, probably. Except everything. Ronnie, got anything?
You know, stay safe, stay blessed. You know, tell someone you love them.
And I'm going to close with this, man. I was actually going to quote something you just said that I already forgot. There's something about the violence.
Summon the violence.
Summon the violence.
Is that what you tell me before games?
But actually, probably don't do that. Probably don't summon the violence. Summon peace.
No choice.
Summon the peace. Also, don't drink and drive.
Bro, we have no choice.
And
we have to be violent.
I love you.
No.
Don't text and drive either.
Oh,
don't text and drive either. Don't do anything except drive if you're going to drive, guys. Be safe. I love you. We love you. Guru Punch out.
Peace.